going on, folks? It's your man JQ, Geeked Out, Deftal Radio, Megan.
Hi, guys.
Chandler.
Yo.
And Free's around here somewhere. Hey, what's up, guys? Oh, no, actually, Free is back from Hawaii, but he's
laying low.
He's laying low. He's resting up. So we will see him next week.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Jet lag.
I mean, it sucks, man, being in Hawaii for how many weeks? 3 weeks?
Yeah, and you know how slow it is in Hawaii.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I bet he's so stressed out.
I know. So unrelaxed right now. Anyways, welcome, guys. It is Geeked Out, as I said before, and we are in a new week. And what's new with you guys?
Oh, man. Just getting ready for this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And then the weekend after that.
And then the weekend after that.
No, actually, the weekend after that's okay. But
Okay.
This weekend, basically covering 4 shows,
Mhm.
2 weekends. 3 of the shows are this weekend.
Mhm.
So, and we have the Diamond event taking place at Celestial Comics on Saturdays. So,
Nice.
yeah, sleep will not be an option for me once Saturday rolls around because I'll be taking a red eye here to New York Saturday night, picking up Larry Lieber Sunday morning,
Boo-hoo.
do the show.
Boo-hoo.
Yep, that's right. Boo hoo hoo. Yes, boo hoo. Yeah, the boo hoo is coming Monday. I'm gonna have to force myself. Oh, this is so difficult. I have to force myself to go sign with Mr. John Romita Sr.
Oh.
Then from there, I'm gonna have to force myself to go have dinner with Mr. John Romita Jr.
Oh.
Yeah. Then I wake up the next day and I'm gonna have to go meet with Tom DeFalco, and then go meet with David Michelini,
Oh, my God.
and then finish on Wednesday with Sal Buscema before I fly back.
There are no names being dropped right now, guys.
Don't know who they are. Don't have a clue.
And my keys are falling in my pocket. So
But then again, for Megan, that would be true because Megan is more of a current
Yeah.
comic kind of gal. So
I do like vintage stuff, though. I love vintage stuff.
Yeah.
Vintage buildings, vintage comics, vintage art, furniture,
dresses.
dresses. Yeah.
So, anyways, well, looks like you're gonna have a busy weeks
yes,
coming up.
absolutely, I do.
Oh, man.
So
So-
a lot of stuff going on. What about you, Megan?
I'm working on a
On a thing.
top secret project.
Ooh.
I'm flying to Atlanta tonight.
And any word on some kind of photo op that's supposed to be coming up?
Yeah, so I'm doing a
Wait, can you talk about it?
not really.
No.
That's why I didn't name it. I simply just said a photo op.
I'm working on a show, but I'm also doing a photo thing. So we'll see what happens.
Very cool.
All right, that's all we can talk about.
That's
Right?
as cryptic as it will get. Yes.
I know. But yeah, so I'll be gone, I think, until Saturday night or Sunday. I have a lot of anxiety about leaving Vegas. I haven't left since I worked on a show last October.
Oh.
Well,
I know, but I used to be on a plane like every week.
So this should be nothing to you.
I know, but I'm like
You're like
freaking
jittery,
out. Yeah,
excited.
and I'm
cake.
wondering what I'm gonna see.
piece of cake. No worries there.
What about you?
What about me? I'm just working on commissions all weekend.
You're gonna get some rest.
I'm gonna get some rest.
You can go to the pool.
No.
You don't
Nah.
have to go to the club.
Nope. I don't
It's
do.
EDC weekend.
I did that like 20 plus years ago. I'm good.
I know.
What's
I'm okay. EDC.
Oh.
Electric Daisy Carnival.
Yeah, no.
Plus, I just came from Cro-
I won't even go anywhere near that
Yeah.
crazy thing. No, the stories I've heard. Oh my God! And
Yeah.
I've talked to people who used to be Uber drivers, and because of EDC, they are not Uber drivers anymore.
Well, I used to go to music festivals back when I turned 18, and I went to the second Bonnaroo I went for like 7 years, and then I went to a bunch of other ones around the country, like Ultra, Miami, and EDC. But when music festivals started, they were not like they are now. There wasn't all the drugs. There wasn't girls almost naked. It was literally the music. At Bonnaroo,
You've never been to Woodstock.
That's
have
all I
you?
was gonna say.
when like Bonnaroo started, it was not drugs and naked girls.
Yeah.
It was about.
You've never been to Woodstock.
I know, and they tried to do a new Woodstock, but something happened with the backers, so they canceled it.
Yeah.
Like a fire festival.
You had Woodstock on the East Coast, and you had, was it Asbury Park in San Francisco? Is that what it is in San Francisco? Remember the San Francisco music festivals that
Yeah, I
used to take
think
place back in the 70s?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you had Starship, Jefferson Starship. I mean,
Santana.
Bob Dylan playing. Oh my God! Talk about flower power to the max in San Francisco. Woo! But then again, I just dated myself, didn't I?
What are you talking about? I just came from Coachella.
You weren't even born. You weren't even born. So,
anyways, yeah, that's all I got going on, relaxing this weekend. And so funny story. So last week was the release of Agents of Atlas: War of the Realms. I was talking about it a lot because it was the first Filipino, well, not the first, but a Filipino character got debuted. So I'm looking around and I'm trying to find a specific variant cover, and it's the character with the Filipino flag behind it, and it's the first time the Filipino flag's been prominently displayed on a Marvel cover. So I needed to have it. I'm calling around, went to a couple shops, and I even asked you.
yeah.
Turns out that the cover that I want is only sold in one store in the Philippines.
Oh man! So it was exclusive.
Did you look on eBay?
Yes, I did. It already went for $100. So I'm calling like cousins, uncles, friends who were down there, and I managed to get a copy. So
For $100?
no, not for $100. I think the retail for that was like 40. So I picked it up. So I don't know when I'm gonna get it, but I got it.
Yeah, it takes forever to get stuff from overseas.
Yeah. Well,
They always look in there like, is this drugs or
yeah.
whatever?
Yeah, they're not. No, well, I mean, because it's family. I'm probably not even gonna have it shipped. Because I'm going there next year. I'm going to the Philippines.
Yeah,
next
but
year.
then they'll I don't know. I wouldn't trust them with a comic book
They're family.
unless it was in like a box.
They know I'll kill them if it's messed. I get it. It's all wrinkled up, folded in half. No. Yeah. So
That's exciting.
yeah,
It's rolled up and it's burnt on one end.
I know.
Are you gonna have it are you gonna hang it on the wall?
I'm gonna do something with it. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet. I was actually thinking of just because it's Filipino, and I know these people. Most of the Filipino artists around aren't. Like I think Lanil Yu is the only one that's doing something on the book, but everybody else, I'm gonna try and get signatures and get a CDC. So
Well, what about Wills?
that's what I'm saying. Like Wills,
Okay.
Lanil, Francis Manipul. God, there's so many different ones. We'll figure it out. But I got mine. I'm happy.
They did a Walking Dead cover for a town in Kentucky,
Mhm.
and it was for Walking Dead Day when they dedicated the town to Kirkman and
Oh, really?
Tony Moore.
Oh, so they had an exclusive for that.
They had and so I got it, and I
Uh-huh.
got Kirkman to sign it. So
Uh-huh.
I still need to get Tony to sign it, and then I'm gonna have it graded. But right now it's hanging on the wall.
You won't be able to get signatures on
I know, yeah.
it. Okay.
But
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
That's
so that's
awesome, too.
my
Yeah.
one.
No, I
Because
totally
it's
get
a
it.
in
Kentucky
that
one.
case, you'd be better off using the other grading company for what's called their verified signature label.
Yeah, somebody was
I'll
talking
explain
about
to
that
you
at a
later.
con. Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many different types.
Because then it comes in a box and it's more displayable than
Oh yeah.
laying it out somewhere.
No, I would totally love to have the CGC thing and display it on my wall. So I get it. I totally get it. Anyways, we got a great show for you guys today. We are going to be talking about stuff like, I don't know, Walking Dead, Marvel movies. What else are we talking about today?
Well,
Movie
speaking
trailers?
of Marvel
Movie trailer. Oh, yeah. Hey.
Speaking of Marvel movies,
Hey, Chandler, what do you got in the tube there?
I've got something very cool. And for those of you that are curious, you can actually probably find this on Facebook somewhere.
No, I've seen like
That's
a
where
million of these.
I ran across it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it. And
Here, I will help you hold it.
okay, so
Roll it out.
basically,
And I can see from behind because the light's going through it.
yeah, it's what I call the definitive signature poster. So it has all of the Avenger characters, and
That's awesome.
basically has their signatures underneath their photos. And to me, it's just, being that I'm a signature guy, I thought it'd be a cool piece to have in our office.
Man, no love for Vin Diesel and Groot?
Well,
Oh, no, he's here. Oh,
Groot's
he's
down
right. I'm
here.
sorry.
What about Red
Yeah,
Skull?
Groot's down there. Vin Diesel's
About
down
who?
there.
Is Red Skull on there?
Who?
Red Skull.
Red Skull.
Red Skull.
Red Skull. Oh. But who's-
No,
I
I don't think
I found
so.
out Red Skull is Ross Marquand from Walking Dead. He
Yes,
plays Aaron.
the second one,
I
yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah, because the first one was, what's his name, from all kinds of, like Matrix and, I forgot his name. Matrix and,
I can picture him, and I can't think of his name either. I'll get the name in just a second.
Yeah, there's two actors that played Red Skull.
But anyway, so that's
awesome.
That's what this is, and so.
And they'll all be staring at you when you're working or pretending to work.
Huh?
They're all, yeah. She said they're all going to be staring at you when you're working.
Who is?
Everybody
Yeah.
else.
Well, that'd be kind of hard because this will be hung up in the conference room. So.
I find it funny
I can
that-
see through the walls.
I find it funny that on the top you have Thanos, and then like right next to him, Spidey just smiling like, yeah.
Nobody else probably wanted to be next to him.
I know.
But it
So.
also gives a big size difference
Yeah,
because he's little.
he's super tiny. It's funny though, because like that poster, I've seen it like a million times.
Well, there's different
Facebook.
versions of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's different versions of it, and it's funny because I remember when I first saw it, it was Robert Downey Jr. holding it up, and
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 totally
now I've seen
photoshopped.
him holding one that's a T-shirt. And,
Yeah.
I'm thinking, wow, talk about monetizing this, the daylights. I mean, it's crazy. But like I said, I saw that and I liked it because it had the signatures. So periodically we'll get stuff in from people and they'll send us a picture of something and say, "Can you tell me if this is real?
And then you just
Is this a real signature?" We usually get that with Stan.
Yeah.
We'll get people who will contact us and say, "I just bought this on eBay, and I understand that you guys know Stan as well as anyone. Can you tell me if this is really his signature?" So, fortunately in our case, we know his signature pretty well, being that we saw it thousands and thousands and thousands of times.
Yeah, yeah.
So anyway, but
Speaking of Stan,
yes.
news came out.
Oh boy, yeah.
You heard about it, right?
Oh,
Kia
yeah,
Morgan, his last handler, was charged with 5 counts of elder abuse and was kidnapping or something like that, or I forgot what it was. Something crazy. Something crazy.
So now I'm just quoting by what
Kia
the
Morgan.
story says.
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw the story, but I
I'm
didn't
not
read
going
the
to say
charges.
anything else about it because I can't.
K-E-Y-A.
But basically, the story says makes reference to how Kia Morgan, who took over handling Stan February of 2018, and the story talks about how in the month of June, Kia had removed Stan from. Now again, this is according to the story. This is according to the story. Kia had removed Stan from his home and took Stan to some other location and had him stay there. And so apparently, according to the story and what the charges are saying, is that that was done against Stan's wishes.
So this is on Yahoo, and it says he was charged with false imprisonment, fraud, forgery stemming from an incident last summer when Stan was 95. And then down here, that what you're saying, it says that Morgan was accused of seizing control of Stan's Hollywood Hills home and hiring security guards with orders to keep relatives out and associates before moving him to an unfamiliar condo. At 95 years old.
Yeah, that guy was.
You pretty much wrapped it up right there.
Yeah.
I don't need to say anything more.
It's terrible. I took care of a couple of older people that were in their late 80s for a long time. And, it can get hard at times being a caregiver for an older person, but you don't do stuff like that. Like, obviously, it was all money motivated. Because what other reason do you have to do any of that?
Well,
I know that according to information, Kia Morgan felt that he was doing it with Stan's best interest in mind. Whether that was true or not, obviously is for the courts to decide. But that was what Kia Morgan's that was his take on it. And again, I'm not saying it to defend him. I'm not saying it to accuse him. I'm just saying from what information has been put out there, that is his perspective. And again, now it's up to the courts to decide whether that is truth or not. The simple fact is Stan, all the way up to the beginning of 2018, there was, I can say from personal experience with Stan, there was still a spark in Stan. In 2018, he had lost his wife 6 months earlier. He'd passed away July of 2017. And basically the two things that kept Stan going was his wife and I'm going to be careful how I word this, his love for the love from the fans. His love for the love from the fans. I'm not going to say that Stan loved the fans, but he loved the love and the admiration that he got from the fans. And that drove him tremendously. That really did. He loved feeling that love from them. I can tell you again from experience of being with him. We traveled with him from 2008 to 2014. And there were times where it got overwhelming for him. Unfortunately, fans would end up getting demanding, and I understand the fans. They're like, "Oh my God, you're my idol." Oh my, I talk to people all the time, and they'd sit there and tell me their feelings about Stan Lee, and it gets to a point where it's almost too much.
Yeah.
And fans they have a hard time understanding that, because to them, they're innocent. To them, it's they're being honest.
There's
they're being innocent.
here.
But the problem is that you when you have so many people taking that perspective, having those feelings and expressing those feelings to someone, it can get emotionally overwhelming to someone, especially someone who is missing the person that was the most important person in their whole life.
Yeah.
So
I know we don't have a lot of time, but I have a short story about that. So when we were filming Thor and Infinity War, one day Stan came to do his cameos. And it was this shows how dedicated he was. It was the day his wife died. The day.
No way.
Because we were sitting at lunch in Holding, and we weren't allowed to play with our phones a lot or whatever, but we got the news that his wife had died, and then there was a long period of time we were just sitting around, and they're filming so much stuff that we don't have downtime there. They're trying to get it done. So we were like, what is going on? Why are they waiting so long? And then Stan showed up. So I don't know if he got a later flight or what, but the day his wife died, he was filming the cameos, yeah.
Wow.
Well, where was this at?
Thor, when we were filming Thor Ragnarok.
But you were filming it in Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because he would not have been able to fly from California to Atlanta in the same day. So it had to have been either his wife passed away prior to that, because it would not have been the same day she passed away.
Because they had just told us that day, though.
Okay.
So we got there at 4 a.m.
It might have been that she had passed away several days earlier.
Yeah.
And that might have been the case. I know that it unlike Stan's death, which was announced within hours.
Yeah.
Joni's death, that was kept a little more private.
Yeah. So the
So-
day, we got there at 4 a.m. that day, and they had told us that she passed away. So everybody was kind of somber on set, but then we had no idea. I mean, production knew he was coming, but we didn't. And then when he showed up, we were like, what? Like, I
Yeah.
can't believe he's here.
Yeah.
So, but that shows how dedicated he is, you know? Because a lot
Well-
of people would be like, I need time off.
His cameos were very important to him.
Well, yeah.
You know, it's funny because I remember Stan. I remember one day when we were talking about it, and he's going, you know, the Academy someday is going to wise up, and they're going to make a new category for best cameo in a motion picture, and of course, yours truly is going to win it every year.
Maybe they'll do that this year.
What's that?
Maybe they should do that this year. To honor him.
That would you know, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
That would be interesting to give the very first one to Stan Lee, as that would be very apropos, you know.
Yeah.
Well, now cameos are a big deal in movies. They aren't just used in movies like this. There's a lot of movies
Yeah.
that have stuff.
Well, to a certain degree, I think Stan epitomized
Yeah.
the cameo role. He really did. And what's I mean, you look at in games, and you look at how they used his cameo in that.
Yeah.
And that was a Stan from years ago.
Yeah.
So taking the images that they were able to get from him back when he was in his 40s
Well,
or
so
50s.
I did look that up, though. So they did go back and see what he used to look like, but
Uh-huh.
they made him look like that now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they did put like fake hair and stuff on him, but then when they filmed it, but then they CGI'd him to look a little bit younger
Oh.
in the face.
Yeah, so kind of like what they do with Captain America.
But
So
if you see,
remember-
yeah,
Remember at the end, Captain America was old.
but the reverse.
Yeah, so Cap had some prosthetics, but they merged it also with CGI, so it
So
looked really
Stan,
clean.
they put the mutton chops on him and stuff. There's a funny picture of him sitting with the Russo brothers. We'll have
Yeah.
to find it.
I got.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's, and I've seen pictures of I've seen real pictures of Stan back in that time.
Right. So they
And-
used that as a reference,
Yeah,
but then they also kind of like, you know, made him look younger in the face. But yeah, I thought that was great.
That's cool. Anyways,
We're getting kind of deep here.
I know. I have so much more to say about Kim Morgan, but we're gonna leave it at that.
that you know, you think you have so much
Oh no,
more
I
to
know.
say?
I know.
I could spend a week talking about Stan Lee
Yeah.
and everything that went on. So,
Yeah, 'cause
but
I was-
I will leave it at that for now.
Well, I'm confident that justice will be served because
Yeah.
judges usually don't take elder abuse lightly, especially for somebody of that caliber.
Well, and I will simply say this: I will give you guys more details once we're off camera. Again, what it's come down to is it comes down to what they will be able to prove.
Yeah.
Because, unfortunately, allegations are only that, allegations.
Well, there's so much money involved, it becomes a whole nother thing.
Well, here again, there's, without understanding who all the players are,
Right.
and not a lot of people know who all the players are.
Well, things will come out. I'm
Pardon?
sure. I'm sure things will come out as this goes on.
Eventually, yes, eventually.
Because people can't keep their mouths shut, especially about something like that.
Yeah.
And with that much money on the line.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the only reason people do stuff like that.
And I don't know if you guys truly know how much money is on the line. So
I know.
Probably not. Yeah, I don't know.
yeah.
I'm not gonna pretend like I know.
But that's the only reason why people do evil stuff like that. Unless they're just mentally ill where they want to hurt someone.
Well, okay, to put it in perspective, if you look at what Kim Morgan was prior to all this, he was a collector.
Yeah.
He was a
So
collector.
it sounds like
collected-
he's a little bit of both.
I think he saw this opportunity as, oh wow, this is my golden goose. I'm gonna be Stan's handler,
Yeah.
and at the same time, be the
Well,
man,
again, there's
you know?
more to the story than
Yeah.
what you realize. So
So, anyways,
yeah,
Yeah, okay. When we get back, guys, we're going to have our top 3 topics of the day. Stick around. We're back, folks, and this is our top 3 topics of the day.
Deftal top 3 topics of the day.
Topic numero uno. New movie trailers. What movies are coming out this year that you're personally excited about seeing? Chandler?
I'm gonna have to go with Dark Phoenix.
Ah, you took mine.
Sorry, I'm looking forward to seeing, okay. Let's go back to the X-Men when they first started back in 2000, and so here it is. You had a studio who, in all honesty, the X-Men was one of their really first attempts at a true superhero movie.
Yeah.
And it was huge.
Yeah.
And while they did a great job, I don't take that away from them. But the problem was back then the technology wasn't there for them to do what they could have done with the characters like they can today.
Yeah.
That's why I'm curious to see, because you saw in X-Men 2, I think it was, you saw part of the Phoenix.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, it was the whole scene towards the end of the movie where they were getting ready to take off with the jet.
Yeah.
And she's in the water. And she uses the power of the Phoenix in order to save them.
Yeah.
And so that was just a little touch of what the whole story is all about. So I'm excited to see how this is going to play out. I'm also going to be curious because this comes out same time. It'll be the same weekend, or it might be the weekend before, and I'll be seeing Chris Claremont.
Chris Claremont!
Okay.
Where's Freeman?
Anyway,
We need him.
and I know Chris has been very critical of this movie because Chris wrote that story.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and it will be interesting for the movie to come out, to see it, and then to be able to sit down with Chris and discuss it in detail.
I think it'll be great. I think it'll do really well because the X-Men fans have been fighting it, waiting for the new X-Men movie.
Yeah.
But the Marvel fans too are going to go see it just because it is related. But I think it's going to be really big for the whole female superhero, if you want to call her that, realm, because usually female movies don't do well. So
Well,
this movie's going to actually do well.
See, here's the interesting thing. You say usually female movies don't do well. In the past, while you had female movies and you had the heroine, as we would say,
Yeah.
they were never superheroes. And I think, especially now that you look at something like Wonder Woman,
Yeah.
I think that that has truly changed the way people see
Yeah.
a female-starred movie that revolves around superheroes. The reason, and I think the reason for that is because you consider that a lot of these characters became very important to little girls growing up,
Yeah.
and that they helped little girls growing up. They helped, through the comic books, teach them certain things about being able to be strong, to be independent. And so I think the fact that we now have it being portrayed up on the big screen is really important, and that's why I think it's being so well received, is because more and more people are realizing the acceptability of it.
Yeah.
And
Instead of being a housewife or a Barbie, you can be a
Superhero.
powerful woman.
you can be an ass kicker.
Yeah.
Excuse my French.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can basically, you can, do something beyond the normal person.
Yeah.
And at the same time, the message that should be in this is that this power is in everyone. It's a matter of willing to step up and utilize that power. And I'm not referring to superpowers.
Right.
I'm referring to the power of being a superhero. And I'm gonna touch on this briefly, but an example would be these shootings that have recently taken place. And you had students that no one ever thought anything about these students, but you've had students who put themselves in the line of fire and paid the ultimate price, made the ultimate sacrifice. And what they did was they were heroes. They found it inside themselves to do that. And the question is, how many people can do that? Anyone's capable of it, but how many can? And by seeing these movies, I think it helps people realize what they're capable of doing.
Yeah.
So
I'm off my soapbox.
totally off subject, but it's okay. So kind of go back to what you said. So, female movies don't do that well.
Before Wonder Woman, but even Wonder Woman didn't do as well as some of the other DC movies.
Yeah, but it still did well. I think.
Right. It did very well.
So, well, name a couple movies that you think. Well, okay, I can name one. Like the Tomb Raider series. I don't even think that.
The
was a
new one
female-
did bad, but the old series, I think, did well
I don't even
after
think
the
that-
theaters.
Yeah, post.
Yeah.
Like, straight or DVD or
Catwoman
whatever.
movie didn't do
Oh, that
well.
one was horrible. But I don't even think it was because of the character itself. I just think it was just a bad movie. Like,
I think studios have had not a tradition, but a fear of doing woman movies for that reason.
gotcha.
There was also another one, I can't remember her name. She was wearing,
Oh, Elektra.
yeah, that one did terrible.
Oh yeah.
And they thought it was going to be huge.
Quick.
But you know what? That was simply, in my opinion, simply because it was just a bad script.
Yeah.
It was a bad
Yeah.
story.
I mean, look at Daredevil, the Daredevil movie. Like, we don't even. I mean, is that still is that part of the MCU or not? Probably not, right?
What's that?
Daredevil movie.
That's going to be interesting to see if they make that transition from the small screen to the big screen, which we've talked
Well,
about.
no,
this in the past.
I'm talking about the big screen, the one with with Ben Affleck.
again, that's,
I think sometimes they
I
forget
kinda
about
see
stuff
that
like
as-
the previous Hulk movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
I was
gotcha.
going to make that exact same comparison. It was funny because I remember seeing Edward Norton on TV this past weekend.
And he's brilliant, but that wasn't his role.
No.
He didn't do it well.
It was out of his character. It was out of his element as an actor,
Yeah.
in my opinion. Edward Norton, he can play some really deep, serious, sick, and cynical characters. Hulk wasn't one of those.
Yeah.
No.
Hulk wasn't one of those. Now, Mark Ruffalo, on the other hand, I think is perfectly suited for Hulk.
Yeah, he's great.
Number one, he has a good time. He's a funny guy.
Have you seen the memes where they're like, somebody needs to tell Mark that he's famous too?
Oh no! Like he's like taking pictures.
Background.
He's like, yeah, like super surprised. Anyways, we're getting super distracted from our topics here. Okay, so what trailer are you looking forward to, or that you've seen? Movie.
So we were talking about this the other day, but the Sonic movie, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh yeah.
But so the trailer was perceived so badly by
That
the
they went back and
fans.
changed it.
They went back and updated how he looks.
Yeah, that was
I mean,
terrible.
Sonic was life back in the day,
Yeah.
And then the other one would be Men in Black with
Oh.
Thor and Valkyrie.
Chris Hemsworth, yeah.
And Tessa Thompson.
That's our first
Men in Black
female
International.
lead. Men in Black.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
That
that's
that one's gonna be
great.
good.
It looks really
well,
good.
I mean, can't say it's gonna be good, but it looks good. Looks
Yeah.
good. So I'm going with.
I'm sorry, I took your.
It's all right. I like it too anyway. It's cool.
Well, and
Phoenix.
I'll say this too. In Sonic, Jim Carrey plays the villain.
Yeah. Oh, he plays.
Based on the trailer, it's like the old Jim Carrey
Yeah.
before he lived in the woods and took mushrooms for 6 months.
I know, and started painting and stuff like that.
No, but he really did do that. That's why he's so crazy lately.
Okay.
Oh man.
He did it for a role. But anyway,
What role was that?
it was for somebody that was like a writer. It hasn't come out yet.
Okay.
But it was for somebody that's a writer that took mushrooms for like a long period of time. So he wanted to get ready for the role, so he copied it.
Oh, I mean that is Jim Carrey's way, right? He did the same
And-
thing for.
That's why you saw those
Man on the
crazy
Moon?
interviews where he was so woke, where he was saying
Yeah.
crazy stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So what's yours?
Oh, Phoenix.
Yeah.
X-Men. Yeah. And that one, and I want to see obviously Spider-Man: Far From Home. That's easy.
Yep.
Pikachu just came out. I want to go see that.
See, well, okay. I'm not a Pokemon fan, but seeing or hearing Ryan Reynolds doing the voice has me curious. I must say.
I think Pikachu's cute.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course. Anyways, let's get on to our next question. Our next question is or topic number 2. Sorry, I'm coughing. New Walking Dead comic. Did Rick Grimes finally meet his end in the comics? I'm gonna leave this to you guys because you guys are more of an expert on this than I am. So I'm not even gonna pretend that I know this stuff.
So right
Okay,
now,
you,
in
Megan.
the comics, there's a bad group called the Commonwealth
Okay.
that is like the worst group you've ever seen. They're in a big war.
Isn't it always like that? Like there's a group that like first it was the governor, and then it
Well,
got
but
worse,
they
got
always
Negan,
have a
and then, like,
shockingly way that they come in. Like so the Commonwealth is not on the TV show right now.
Okay.
But
Yes.
we saw what Negan did in the show where he bashed in Glenn's head.
Yeah.
And then the Whispers is the new group, and they cut people's heads off.
Mm.
So it's always very graphic and shocking.
Mm.
So the Commonwealth is, they're not on the show yet. But they're in the
But-
comics, they're at war, and Rick got shot in the heart.
Mm.
So the question is, it was at the very end
The
of the
last
comic.
panel
Yeah.
of the last book that just came out, which was it last week or 2 weeks ago?
Last week.
Yeah,
Last week, and it was the last panel was Rick getting shot.
yeah.
Yes. Now you only seen I say this. Anybody happen to see a show called Dallas?
Oh.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's leave it at that. The ultimate cliffhanger.
Who shot?
Who
Rick Grimes?
shot JR? In this case, it's not who shot Rick, but it's the fact of what happens to him. Now, I happen to have an article that was written and posted in comicbook.com that basically quotes Robert Kirkman and Robert according to this article, strongly hints Rick Grimes dies next issue.
Yeah, I've been to lectures he's done and stuff, and because he's from Kentucky also, and anyway, I've heard him speak about the show several times, and he said nobody's safe, including Rick. You know, the fans are pretty disappointed because on the show, Carl got killed off, and then Rick. Everybody on the show thinks Rick's dead because he blew up a bridge to save them from a horde of zombies, but Rick got taken off in a helicopter. So we don't know what his fate is. We don't know if he's dead. He was also stabbed. He fell on barbed wire in the show, and it went into his chest and through the other side.
Wow.
So it was kind of similar in a way. So we don't know if Rick's dead. We don't know if Rick's alive. We just know he got taken away. But they did that for a reason, because on the show they're going to supposedly make a 3-part mini-series, TV movie series with Rick in it. And now they're calling it the Walking Dead universe. So actors don't sign a contract for one show, they sign it for everything. But with the comic books, I mean, he could, because Kirkman has changed several things. He said there was things that he regretted doing, like cutting Rick's hand off was one.
Yep. Robert talks about how there are all kinds of things that he, after everything is said and done, he realized he would have done it differently, and that he has actually been able to, as he says, fix some of those things in the TV show.
Yeah.
So, just everything that went on, like you said, with Rick's hand and everything. Rick never lost his hand.
Yeah.
So.
Because filming it would be a logistical nightmare.
Yeah, it would increase their budget substantially just in the special effects.
I know.
But yeah,
CGI.
so it's a big deal in the comics because the entire series has been based on Rick from day one.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, where do you go from here without your main character?
True.
In a comic.
Now, are there anybody?
Not on his level.
Really?
The main characters are like, well, at this point in the comics, it's different, but the main characters have always been Rick, his son, Michonne, Carol. Daryl's not in the comics, but he's a main character on the show now. But yeah, I mean, there's nobody on his level. So,
well,
I know. And the fans are pissed about it too, because it's kind of like, where do you go from here?
Yeah, I mean, for those of you that have not read the series, Rick is on page 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he is the only character that truly has been involved. I'm not going to say he's been involved in every single issue, because that's not necessarily true. But he has been involved from the very first page or the very first day. And he's the only one that you can say that about. I mean, Michonne, you didn't see Michonne come about until, oh my God, I'm trying to remember what issue her first appearance was. I want to say 19, I think it was.
It was a little while.
You look at a bunch of the other characters that are in the TV show, and those characters did not show up until, issue 40, issue 50, issue 60, something like that.
Yeah.
So, Rick is the only one who has gone this whole distance.
The reason why it's so important is because in other comics, like Marvel, for example, it's about a superhero or a team and what they go through. And with Walking Dead, it's about a human in the apocalypse, and it's about him finding his family and then moving on from there and then dealing with evil people and figuring it out. So it's always been all about him.
It's been about the struggle. It's been about the struggle he has gone through.
Yeah.
On different levels.
Losing his wife and losing his
wife,
kids.
losing his
best friend.
Yeah. I mean, there have been all these different things that have happened to him. And sadly, some of them, to a certain degree, he's had to be responsible for himself.
Yeah.
Realizing he because
had
he
to
was the
kill
only one
somebody.
capable of, had to do the ultimate, you know, he had to make the ultimate move in order to achieve some of those actions.
He had to kill some of his own friends. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, so as far as it goes with the topic, I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, obviously they could do it as a cliffhanger, but how are you going to, you can't have heart surgery in the apocalypse.
I mean, you can, but
Why not?
Because they don't have all the tools for
tools,
that.
equipment.
Oh, wait a minute. You don't remember the medical center?
Well, yeah, but they still don't have their, you know, a specific heart doctor are the ones that perform that in real life, right?
And who's to say that a heart doctor like that isn't still around?
I'm just saying that
That'd be
it's
super.
far-fetched.
That would be super convenient, though. You think
Well,
what I'm saying?
no, yes and no, in the sense that, you know, you've had this. What they could do is they could basically have him. How would you put it? They could have him
In a coma is what I think they'd probably do.
something like that, yeah. And
Like
then
he started.
you know, and then they happen to run across a local doctor
Yeah.
that, after everything is said and done, was a world-class heart surgeon before the apocalypse.
Yeah.
You know what would be interesting, though? Is like I think that this is a great opportunity.
You listening,
for-
Robert?
I know.
Go
Right?
ahead.
This would be a great opportunity, especially with Rick being the main character being away, to see who actually steps up to the plate to you know.
That's what they're doing on the show right now.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, this would be great because, like, let's say Rick survives, right? And then, like, during his time away, all these people are stepping up to the plate. You got like maybe 2 or 3 main players that are now running the show, right?
The thing
And then
is,
Rick
it
comes back.
changes the whole dynamic.
Yeah.
That's why fans are unhappy with this season.
Why not? What's wrong?
Because Rick is the show
I know.
and Rick is the comic.
But it'd be kind of cool to have a little bit of change. See what.
And fans like predicting what's going to happen. They want that happy ending, you know?
Oh,
Of course,
They
they're
want
gonna-
it tied up in a
Walking
neat
Dead.
bow.
I know.
It's never going to happen. That
Every-
was never going
You
to
think
happen.
everybody's going to die in the end?
Huh?
Do you think everyone's going to die in the end?
I didn't say everyone, but the fact is, you're having a happy ending is just not. I don't think it's in the cards.
A lot of people think that the ending is going to be him waking up from the coma he was in the first episode, and that it was all a dream.
Oh God.
But that
Could
would be
be.
cheesy.
That'd be super-
Yes,
that'd be
yes,
super cheesy.
yeah.
And everybody would be so pissed they would never stop talking about it.
All right. Final say on this topic. Anything else?
We'll just
Nope.
see what happens.
We'll just see what happens. Okay. Topic number 3. You now have the conclusion of Avengers Endgame. Will that affect where the comics go from here? Will we see some of these younger characters revisited in the comics? I think I'm going to start this one off. How will this affect the comics? It's already. I think they're like kind of hand in hand. But as far as the younger cast that's there, I think it's already been touched on in the comics. I mean, you got Young Avengers, right? So
Yeah, they already exist.
yeah, they already exist. I think it's
the movie was so popular, though. I feel like they're going to be. The machine is going to be
Oh, yeah,
spitting out a lot of stuff.
now you got this opportunity to make Young Avengers, and if not Young Avengers, then you got individual movies for these characters growing up. How it affects like right now, I think comics and like as it relates to Avengers Endgame, there is no relation right now besides the characters itself. Because right now we're in the middle of War of the Realms, with Malekith from Thor: Dark World, I think that was. He's coming up as the big baddie for this little story arc. So, and that has, I don't know. There's nothing in there that has anything to do with Endgame. So, it is what it is. What about you guys? What do you guys think?
I think you will see. Obviously, the movie will have an effect on a little bit of what they're going to be doing. But at the same time, one of the things that Marvel does and DC does a similar thing is you will get the writers who basically will all get together. Basically, it's like form of a summit, and they will plan out they will plan out what the stories are going to be for the next several years.
Can you imagine being there?
I've seen, like, I was watching a documentary. I've seen them in the middle of their brainstorming sessions, and
Yeah,
they're
but
like,
just to hear it all.
oh yeah, I'd be like,
But yeah, I think they're gonna have branches off. There's so many offshoots they could do from
Oh,
the
yeah.
movie, and just the smaller characters for those niche markets too.
If anything, what I could see them probably doing, for those that you haven't really seen much, is I could see them doing more of some origin stuff.
yeah. I mean, look at
Basically taking some of these characters.
Well, since
And-
they're filming the Black Widow movies, they'll
exactly.
probably do one with her.
yeah.
Well, Black Widow, to a certain degree, they've done a little bit of origin stories already.
I know, because that's how people are referencing the movie.
But, I'm talking about with some of these young Avenger characters.
Like
Because-
the one with, did the kid that Tony trained ever have his own comic thing? Or was it
No.
just in the movie?
You're talking about the kid that
Was it the
from
funeral?
Iron
Yeah.
Man
Yeah.
3?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
that could be a good one.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you have different options for.
And then it would feed the fans more of Iron Man,
Yeah.
who's dead.
Here's another question that wasn't really answered. So we got Captain Marvel, and the character of Monica Rambeau was introduced, which later, and keep in mind, remember this movie is set in the 90s, right? So during the time of Endgame, where is this girl at? Because in the comics, Monica Rambeau is also Captain Marvel. She changes her name a few times, but for the most part, she's another Captain Marvel. So that's another movie that we can be talking
Well,
about.
they said Captain Marvel is going to be bisexual. So we don't know who her girlfriend's going to be, right?
Oh, I mean, is that for sure though? I
There's been
saw
a
the
lot
rumor.
of talk about
I
it.
saw the rumor, but
So
yeah.
maybe the person will come back. Is that?
I don't know.
They
but
could
then
be
that-
lovers.
No, but then that's like Auntie Carol. You know what I mean? Like,
Do you think Well, this is off subject. Do you think Captain Marvel's going to date a human or another Avenger?
Wait a minute, date a human or another Avenger?
Or
Is that what
another
you said?
superhero?
I don't know. Personally, like I'm all for LGBTQ, all that stuff. And that's not, it's not a big deal to me. But like, just to bring it in as a plot point in a movie, like, come on.
I think they're just trying to cover everybody, That's why now people are saying, we
Just-
have a black Captain America.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was planned out.
That was already in the comics, so I'm just like, just give me a good story, like don't
Well,
throw.
we don't
in,
know what's going to happen.
I know we don't know what's gonna happen. But anyways,
That one's going to be, I think, shot in LA, so we could all go work on it.
we could.
I'm giving you ideas.
We could totally do that. Anyways, anything else? Topic number 3: Avengers comic books, Marvel comic books. Nothing.
I'm quiet today.
All right, you are quiet today. Anyways, that is it for topics. When we get back, we're gonna wrap up the show. Stick around. are back, folks, and that is it for our show. Next week. So if you guys remember, we had 3 different episodes. Did we do 3 also? I don't remember when we did. Anyways, we had 3 episodes where we sat down with each of us, because you guys don't really get to know us on the show, but you don't really get to know what our motivation, what we're here for, and all that good stuff. And since we've gotten this one, we're gonna do a show on her next week. So.
And that's gonna be an interesting show, because I look forward. Unfortunately, I won't be here for that, but I look forward to watching that episode. I want to hear the deep, dark secrets.
The weird thing.
Look at her. I can't wait to hear the deep, dark secrets.
I can say
come out.
some stuff, but it sucks because there's stuff that still hasn't been used.
Well, we're not even going to talk. I mean, we're going to talk about everything.
What we can talk about.
Yeah. Well, we're going to talk about what got you into the industry and all that good stuff.
Interesting.
Don't worry, like,
I'm gonna have
man.
to come prepared. I don't know what I'm in for.
When we did my show was like an hour and a half, and I was like, dude, I was just talking.
Oh my gosh.
When we did my show, I don't think he said a word.
Yeah, 'cause I was like,
yeah, I was just kind of
Is he
like, all right,
asleep?
Chandler, go at it.
so yeah.
Excited.
But so that's gonna be a fun episode. But a week after that,
Oh man. So okay, we are in the we have one more episode, right?
one more episode.
One more episode of Game of Thrones, and I hope you guys have caught up. I know there are a lot of Game of Thrones fans out there. So the following week, we are going to be doing a whole review of this season and just the series in general and all the craziness that's been going on in Game of Thrones. So, guys, you don't want to miss it. Stick around. Again, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the alarm button on that little bell thing on the right next to subscribe. I'm going to put a graphic here, maybe not. I'm just going to look stupid doing this, but you'll see a bell. You're going to click that. And then when we get that good Game of Thrones episode and we get her episode up, you guys will get notified and you guys get to check that out. So, with that being said, do we have anything else? Any final words before we end the show?
Nope. I gotta hit the road, Jack.
Don't you come back? No.
I gotta go to the airport.
She's going to go to the airport. I got to go back to my office.
Yep.
Do whatever I do.
I'll send you guys pictures.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah.
I'll try to Instagram while I'm on the road. How's that?
Yeah, well, you need to do Instagram stories.
I was gonna say I'll try to do my Instagram stories on the road.
There you go.
So
There
if you
go.
follow us on Instagram, what's our handle?
It's Geeked Out LV.
Yeah.
At Geeked Out LV on Instagram.
So we're gonna be posting more on the air.
So yeah, check us out, guys. Anyways, that's it for our show. I'm your man JQ. This is Megan. This is Chandler.
Yo.
And then this is Free. Hey, all right, guys. See you later. We're out. Peace. All right. Good show, guys. What's going on, guys? It's your man JQ, Geeked Out, right here on Deftal Radio. If you want to get more content from us, better make sure you hit that subscribe button. Don't know what you're missing.